But last week we did our year in review, right, for 2017. So this week I just want to ask, what do you want to see from the big three? When I say the big three, I'm talking about the big three console players. We're talking about Microsoft, we're talking about Nintendo, we're talking about Sony. What do you want to see from those three companies as far as in games, hardware support? What are you looking for, basically?
Well, we talked about this in our year in review, but Microsoft definitely has to come with the games. They spent primarily all of 2017 either canceling games or just like delaying games and kind of just gearing up for this Xbox. I don't know what you want to call it, not necessarily like gearing the Xbox to be supported without an actual set top box. You know what I'm saying? Like they have the set top box, and if you have that, that's great. But they've been working with like bringing that into the Windows 10 thing kind of seamlessly. You know,
Xbox has a service as opposed to a
Xbox
device.
has a service. Yes, that's it. They've really been doing that. They've been doing that primarily all of 2017. Mm-hmm. So I really feel like it's high time. We got some games, and with the release of the Xbox One X, it wouldn't make sense for these people that invested this money into this console to not have anything to play on it.
Right.
They need to give those people they need to justify that purchase, man. And at the end of the day, the Xbox One X is a gaming console. You know, they want it to be an all-in-one, home entertainment system. But at the end of the day, you turn that thing on with the press of a controller button. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In most cases.
In most cases, yeah. So, yeah, I agree with you as far as Microsoft. We're doing the alphabetical order. Microsoft, then we do Nintendo, we hit up Sony.
Okay.
So, I agree with you with Microsoft. They need to bring the games. I think this year at E3, they have to bring something exciting. They can't rely on third parties because, to be quite honest, third parties have failed them. And we know, Phil Spencer has come out and said they're going to go headlong or head first go back into the first party development cycle. We're bringing out first party games and first party studios and investing that way. So I'm expecting this year, specifically at E3, I'm expecting them to at least announce something big, preferably not another Halo, preferably not another Gears. A new IP would be great. I'm still expecting them to spend some money to add some talent, development talent to Microsoft Studios, because remember, over the past 2 or 3 years, they've been calling away, they've been closing studios and letting their developers go. Yeah. They need to bring some of that talent back, and they're going to have. I mean, they have the money. The money is not the problem; is whether they have the motivation.
Right.
And I would like to see them. This has got to be. I mean, you sold a $500 box. You got to, just like you said, you got to justify the sale of that $500 box.
Right. Because I mean, it didn't sell like poorly. Like people went out and they bought it. The pre-orders were there. People have what is considered now it is the strongest home console ever created.
Right.
And so they're going to need some games to take advantage of that power.
Right. And they do, to be fair, they have some games, some third-party games mostly. I mean, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is great. They got the Forza 7, Forza Horizon, Madden. I mean, they got the third-party support is there for it. But again, they're losing out. They're missing out because third-party support, when they're making their games for 2 systems. So they have to balance making specific concessions to a system and the cost.
Right.
As opposed to if they're making it first party, they don't have to worry about what's going on PlayStation. They can use the Xbox to its fullest power and make something very, very good. So I think they definitely need to get into the first party. They need to jump back headfirst in the first party.
Right.
And if they don't, I don't see the Microsoft. I don't see Xbox surviving, at least as a console, as surviving as it is right now. It's going to go the way of the Kinect.
Yeah, and speaking on what you said about third parties, failing the Xbox console brand, just take a look at Call of Duty. Remember how previous generation, all of the map packs and all that stuff came out on Xbox first. This is the first generation where that is a PlayStation thing now.
Yeah, that's because Microsoft. So again, that was part of Microsoft's strategy. They weren't spending the money. Sony was. That's why Sony's got the exclusives with Destiny, and they got Street Fighter V exclusively, and they got the map packs because Sony was just throwing the money at these publishers and developers, and okay, bring me your stuff first, bring me your game, don't put it on Xbox, make it a PlayStation exclusive. And Microsoft is just like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to use the Microsoft name, and that is just not working.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out as they may have intended. So they're definitely gonna have to come with some games. I really do like I think it was one of your predictions for 2018 was that they were gonna acquire a game
major studio publisher.
Yeah. I would like to see that as well. All right, so let's move on to Nintendo. I'll let you start with Nintendo.
What I would like to see from Nintendo is for them to be consumer friendly. That's what I want to see from them. I'm dead serious. I think Nintendo of the three companies, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, I think Nintendo is the most consumer unfriendly company of them all. Just their onerous policies from online gaming, game sharing, the accounts, their horrible, non-existent online service. What they tried to do with their chat program, I mean, it's just not consumer friendly. The fact that they continue to sell 2, 3, 4-year-old games for $50 and $60. I mean, it's just everything that they do is consumer hostile. I want them to be more friendly to the gamer, because at the end of the day, Nintendo has fans that's going to buy their stuff. They
have hardcore fans, diehard fans.
That's going to buy their stuff regardless. So if you just throw a bone, you don't have to give us the shirt off your back. Just throw us a bone. Sell me 3-year-old Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for $40 instead of $60. Don't sell me 2 Joy-Cons for $80. Give me more than 32 gigabytes of internal space for my games. I mean, I can go on and on. I just want to see Nintendo become more consumer friendly, because at the end of the day, as much as I whine and moan and complain and say Nintendo doesn't do this, blah, 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 they have the games. I think they have the games. They have Mario, they have Zelda, they have Smash Brothers, they have Metroid. They have the games, they have the catalog, they have third parties flocking to the system. So the system is going to have the games. Just be more friendly to your consumers, more friendly to your community. Yeah, that's all I'm asking for from Nintendo. I don't want to see them. I don't need to see a new Nintendo game. To be quite honest, I don't give a rat's behind about a new Metroid or new Smash Bros. Don't care. I just want you to be more friendly to me. Let me share my games with my 7-year-old. Don't make me have to buy 2 copies of Mario Kart so we can play against each other. On separate consoles. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I guess my what I want from Nintendo kind of aligns with yours. It's kind of, they just need to get with the times, man. Right. It's 2017. What generation is it? Well, the 9th generation of consoles?
10th, yeah.
9th or 10th. I should not be using my freaking smartphone to communicate with people over a multiplayer shooter. That is ridiculous.
I think that's a design flaw. I think they're going to have to update their entire operating system. I think right now it's 7th generation.
Okay,
no,
7th.
Is it 7th? Wait,
I thought it was at least 8th.
8th, yes, 8th.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's an OS limitation, that it can't do multiple programs at the same time. It can't multitask. Because what I noticed with Nintendo, when you go from one thing to another, you have to close
out. Yeah, you have to close out every single time. So I mean, everything that you said kind of aligns with that as well, because game sharing, that's something that's been a thing for quite some time.
Since Xbox 360 at the very least, last generation.
Freaking party chat, that's been a thing for the past 2 or 3 generations.
That started with PlayStation 2 and Xbox One. I remember
Xbox original, yeah.
The original Xbox. That's the Xbox One. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when Sony first brought in Game Chat on SOCOM. We had to buy the little headset, plug the little headset adapter. But yeah, it's just.
Yeah, they just need to get with the times. And I'm never gonna pay for their online service. So I'm glad that they pushed it back. They're gonna have to push it back some more because a lot of people I even though it's only how much is it?
$20 a year.
I don't care. It's not it's not justified.
No,
I will not pay. I will not assign my credit card or debit card or whatever to a service that is subpar. Like I pay for both freaking Xbox Live and PS Plus.
Yep.
Because like whenever I want to go online and play, like the functionality is there. It's seamless and it's easy. It's not seamless. It's not easy. It's bad. It's terrible.
And not to mention the fringe benefits you get from the service, the free games.
Yeah.
Right. You get at least 2 on the PlayStation 4, and lately they've been giving 3 to 5, and at least you always get 4 on the Xbox One. So Nintendo's.
But then I don't have Netflix on the Switch. I don't have Hulu. Didn't they just add Hulu? I think you said they have Hulu. Well, they don't have Netflix. They don't have YouTube. They don't have a browser. It's a wireless system, but I have to be connected to Wi-Fi. I can't be. I can't just be outside and connect to like the 4G.
No cell antenna.
Cell.
That's the whole. That all falls under the consumer hostility that they have.
Well, yeah. So basically, they need to get with the times. It is a game console first. They need to at least have core like game console functionality. Not being able to talk with your friends online. Like, get out of here, man.
I see where they're going with that. They're going with it is they still want it for kids. They want to protect the kids. But one thing I would say for Nintendo, and the same with Microsoft, their parental controls are outstanding. If you are an involved parent, you can protect your child. I can stop her from talking to people on chat. Put the chat in there and leave it up to the parent to implement those blocks. You're not my parent, Nintendo. I'm not buying your system for you to restrict me.
Yeah.
You ain't my dad.
Oh God! All right. So the next thing we have is Sony, and I don't know what I can say I want from Sony that I haven't already gotten. I mean, Sony had a fantastic 2017. They had the exclusives. They brought the games that year. If there's anything that I want from them is to keep doing what they're doing. Because I honestly have no solid complaints about my PS4 experience in the past year. There's nothing that I can complain about. I am still waiting and anticipating games that we heard about this year, last year for this year.
For this year, yep.
I'm still on the hype train. Is still going strong, you know. So I honestly don't have any major gripes with Sony that I could come up with off the top of my head. Honestly, man, I've been having a fantastic time. Coming up real soon, Monster Hunter Worlds is coming out. I'm going to be playing that with my friends. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, I got that pre-ordered for PlayStation 4. I'm going to be playing that online with my friends. Oh, you know what? Crossplay. There we go. They need to get with crossplay because it's what the people want. Especially when it comes to fighting games. Fighting games.
And shooters.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. But like shooters get the big numbers. Like there's a lot more people playing shooters than there are playing fighters. So I feel like that that genre can be a little compartmentalized or whatever. I hope I use that word right. But the fighting genre, man, they
need a boost. Yeah.
They need a boost, and crossplay is the key. And Microsoft and Nintendo are playing ball together. Sony needs to get on board. Otherwise, they're going to be left in the dust. Okay. Yes, that is my That's what I want.
That's your rank. Okay. Yeah. Being the hateful hater, angry black man that I am, I got a lot to say about Sony.
Oh, damn.
The first thing, Sony needs to give up on this VR because it's taken away from their core business. They sold, at the beginning, they said, oh, we sold this many VRs, blah, 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 blah. That was the curiosity. The curiosity is over. People aren't buying it.
That has peaked and it's passed.
Mm-hmm. People aren't buying it because there's not compelling games. The people that did buy it, you can go on Craigslist and eBay, and you see tons of them on sale for cheap. The people that are buying them are just not using them, don't want them, don't like them, whatever. They need to back up off this VR and move back to their core business, because if you look at the last year's PlayStation experience, remember last year's PlayStation experience and how excited we were with all of the stuff they showed?
So hype. It was so hype.
This year, they didn't have much for us. What they have for us coming this year is some of the same stuff they showed last year. Last of Us 2, Spider-Man, God of War, Monster Hunter. That stuff we knew about. They didn't show us really anything new. So I think Sony is kind of losing their focus a little bit. They need to get back in focus and get us those games that they have been getting us the past 3 years. Yeah. Yes, and then crossplay, they need to take their heads out their butts. Yep. Crossplay is the next big thing. They need to get ahead and they can be selective. They don't have to say every game is crossplay. But like you said, some of the fighting games, when they get Street Fighter, Dragon Ball, Injustice, those fighting games should be crossplay. I think if they want to implement anything, implement something that's a game that's maybe not as popular on their system, but is popular somewhere else. Start with that type of thing. Say there's a game that's not popular on Sony, but it's popular on PC. Let your PlayStation players play with the PC players. If it's on Xbox, let them play, because it's going to make them happy and it's going to make them stay with Sony. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't matter if it's Destiny or Goat Simulator, if people have friends on a different platform that they can't play with, eventually they're going to move to the platform with their friends.
Right.
And, Sony could be losing out where Xbox, Nintendo, and PC are all playing with each other and Sony's sitting there by itself.
Right. I played a match of Rocket League last night on my PC with somebody that had it on the Nintendo Switch. It was fun. It was fun. All you had to do was just create a room. It's not like, and the weird thing is like you said, they can afford to be selective, but it could go even further than that, because when you play Rocket League, when you play matchmaking, I believe the matchmaking is only for the core system. So like if I went on matchmaking on PC, I think that I would be matched up with PC players.
You have to search out for cross-plat.
You'd have to search for cross-plat or create a private lobby that requires a password. And if that is the way that you can play cross-play. Right. So it's not even about like taking away consumers from the from the PlayStation platform. It's about bringing gamers together and not alienating them, because like you said, if somebody has a game on PC and I want to play with him, I'm going to get it on PC, even if it's available on PlayStation 4. Exactly.
Yeah. And then my last thing for Sony is stop reacting and pretending that you're being proactive. And by that, I mean, they will come out and they'll do something like, for instance, the PlayStation Pro. PlayStation Pro was reactive. It was something that they heard that Microsoft had something coming out that's a little more powerful. So they wanted that their reaction was to rush ours out faster, even though it's less power and doesn't do quite as much as they claim it does, or doesn't do what they claim it does. Yeah. So don't stop reacting and pretending like it's proactive. If you're going to react to something, react properly, because right now they're behind the 8 ball with the Xbox One X, right? So yes, PlayStation has the games. Xbox has the hardware, and at some point it may not, but it could tilt
the scale.
Tilt the scales. Yeah. So if you're gonna react to something, react to it. Don't be out there trying to rush something in the market that's subpar.
Yeah, react appropriately.
Yeah, those are the things I have. Other than that, like you said, Sony's year last year was amazing. I mean, the games they brought were great. I just, like I said, I'm just looking at what they showed us. And I'm just going by the PlayStation experience because that's their event. That's where they're supposed to blow our pants off.
Right, and last year's. And it wasn't even just the games that they came out, but the game announcements for the future.
Right,
that was killer as well.
And that's where they lacked this year. This year they showed us all of the game, more of the stuff they announced last year, but they didn't really make any big game announcements going forward. And I think that's problematic. And I think that's a symptom of them really going all in on this VR thing, which I don't think is a good look.
Yeah, we will have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, that's the long form discussion. Let us know what you guys think down in the description below, or wherever it is that you are consuming this media, whether it's on YouTube, on Facebook, or if you're listening to it on your favorite podcasting app. Let us know what you guys think. And do you agree with us? Do you have things that you would like to see from the big three? Put those comments down below, and let's get this discussion started.